A very warm welcome to iShakti. In this video, let us learn about how to develop a strip-fed patch antenna. So, the resonant frequency is considered to be 7.5 GHz. The thickness of substrate is considered to be 0.8 millimeter, and the dielectric constant of the substrate is considered to be 2.2. It means I am considering the substrate Rogers RT Duroid 5880. Then for the calculations, we require the width, length of the patch as well as for the ground plane. So, width we can calculate by this equation where W equal to C0 by 2 FR square root of 2 by epsilon R plus 1. Then as there is the change in refractive index immediately above the patch. So, we have an effective refractive index. So, that can be evaluated from this expression and followed by because of the fringing fields that occur due to patch as well as the ground plane. So, we have a small shift in length which is caused by delta L, which is evaluated by this expression. So, the length of the patch will be now defined by subtracting this delta L. Similar way, the length and width of ground planes are defined by these equations. So, here as per the calculations, we will get around for this resonant frequency width as 12.45 millimeter, length of patch as 16 millimeter, and the width of ground plane around 28.1 millimeter, and the length of ground plane is 32 millimeters. Now let us start developing the antenna. So first let us consider a box for substrate. So this box I am taking as substrate. Here I assign it as a Rogers RT Duroid. So I type it as Rogers RT Duroid 5880. Here you can see the epsilon R is 2.2. Then give OK. Give some color as well as assign some transparency level so that we can visualize where the patch as well as grounds are represented. So in the create box, the position I am going to choose as 0, 0, 0. The X size is 28.1 millimeters, Y size is 32 millimeter, and the Z size is 0.8 millimeter, and then press OK. Now press Ctrl D. Now you can see the substrate is aligned along XY plane with the height along Z plane. Now take a rectangle, rename it as ground, assign some other color as well as transparency level. Now go to create rectangle. The position is 0, 0, 0 and X size is 28.1 millimeter, Y size is 32 millimeter. Now click on draw rectangle, rename it as patch, assign some other color as well as set some transparency level. Now for this patch, previously we have calculated the dimensions as 12.45 millimeters and 16 millimeters. So here I am giving as 7.825, 8, 0.8 because it has to be represented with a shift along x direction as well as y direction, and the x becomes 12.45, y becomes 16. Give OK. Now you can see it is aligned here. Now take one more rectangle, draw it, rename it as feed line, assign some color as well as some transparency level. Now for this feed line, now give the values as 10.9375, comma 0, comma 0.8. Now the X size is 2.46 and Y size is 8 millimeter. So you can see it is actually an offset feed. It is not aligned exactly at the center. It is with an offset along the X direction. Let us keep it normal. Press escape. Again go to draw rectangle. Click somewhere. Rename it as port A. Give some other color. Set some transparency level. Now create the dimensions as 10.9375, comma 0, comma 0, and it must be aligned along Y direction. Again you just change the value of X as 2.46 and the height as 0.8 millimeter. You can see the dimension, it has been aligned along the YX plane, sorry, XZ plane. Now we have given all. After that we need to give the air box. Click somewhere, rename it as air box. We can leave it as vacuum, but still, as immediately surrounding to antenna, it represents an air, so I am giving it as air. Set some color and transparency level. Now go to air box. Here -5, comma -5, comma -5.794 millimeters. X size is 33.1 millimeter. Y size is 45 millimeter and Z size is 10.794 millimeter. I am choosing this dimension so that the patch along with the substrate and ground, they are at the almost a height above the base of air box, so that the evaluation of the finite element method will be easier. So now we have completed the first task of developing the solids. Now let us take patch and feed line. By pressing Ctrl, select both, go to edit, go to Boolean, unite. So once you unite them, if I click on it, it shows as a single structure. Now let me rotate it so that it will be easier for me to indicate the port. So now let us zoom it, press escape, go to view or edit, hide air box, give done. Now right click on port A, assign excitation, lumped port, give next, because we want to match it for 50 ohms since it is a strip line. Then once it is defined, click finish. Now go to ground, assign boundary, perfect T. Similar way, go to patch, assign boundary, perfect T. Go to air box. Since the entire antenna is held within the air box without touching the boundaries, I can assign directly. So assign boundary, radiation. So under boundaries you need to see perfect T1 for ground plane, perfect T2 for patch and radiation for air box. Okay, so once this is done, now right click on analysis, add solution setup. We have taken the solution frequency to be 7.5 gigahertz. Then click on plus symbol, right click on setup, add frequency sweep. So here since it is 7.5 gigahertz, now I am changing this to 6 to 9 gigahertz. Give OK. Then go to radiation, right click, insert far field setup, infinite sphere. Here I change the theta value to 360. Then give OK. Now analyze all. Now save it as strip fed patch. Here I had chosen offset feed, but usually we can give center feed or inset feed. Those details we shall see in next videos. Usually for projects, generally the basic antenna that is chosen to be is a rectangular patch antenna, and upon it the developments are made. So for any starter, you can have this as the basic design, and you can go ahead changing with the designs. You can have many options by using unite and subtract. There you can create as many models as possible. So since I had given only 0.1 gigahertz, the results are available now. Go to HFSS, results, far field report, 3D rectangular plot, polar plot. So this is the radial component of electric field. You can see a balloon type structure is obtained, and the value is around 1.411 into 10 to power 4 millivolt. Go to HFSS, results, create far field report, 3D polar plot, click on gain in terms of dB, new report, then give close. So here 6.4936 dB of gain is being available. If suppose in any case if you are getting a negative gain, it means that the width or length of the feed line has to be changed. Usually we change the width, then again the length of the patch can be adjusted in order to have the resonant frequency. Once the impedance match as well as resonance is occurring, then you will get a positive gain. Then go to HFSS, results, model solution data report, create rectangular plot, S11 in dB, which is nothing but return loss. So actually it has to resonate at 7.5 gigahertz. It is resonating at 7.3 gigahertz. So the length has to be adjusted slightly. But if you see the margin, say I go to add marker, so the value is minus 11.0877 dB, which is actually an acceptable value. Suppose if you are asked to find the return loss bandwidth, then you need to click at minus 10 dB. Click at minus 10 dB on both sides. So I bring it to normal. Now press escape. You can select the other components and delete them. So then the return loss bandwidth will be 7.4136 gigahertz minus 7.12774 gigahertz. So if you calculate the value, it will come around 136.2 megahertz. That represents the bandwidth. Then again go to HFSS results, model solution data report, rectangular plot, click on VSWR. So here also the resonant frequency is coming at 7.3 or even at 7.4, but actually at 7.5 it is crossing the limits as per the design. So slight adjustments are required. You can see at 7.3 gigahertz it is 1.7739 and at 7.4 gigahertz it is 1.83. Hope this has given an insight to microstrip patch antenna. Thank you one and all.